Okay, we're going to get your files, your buttons, ready to put on the page. Okay, now if you haven't done this already, I'm going to try and cut out the background so it's a circle. Now, just kind of a quick reminder, everything important goes inside the dotted circle. If it's outside the circle, it's lost. It's wrapped around the side and you'll never see it. So any text, anything important needs to be inside the inner circle. If you have stuff out here, you need to move it because it's going to be cut off. This, you got to think about this dotted circle is the face of the button. This is the side. So you'll see the color, but you won't be able to figure out what it is. All right, first step is I click on my template layer and I'm going to use my quick selection tool. Actually, I'm going to use my magic wand. And I just click on the outside. Notice it doesn't touch anything on the inside because this is a closed object. Then I go down to my background. Now you may have to rasterize it first. You'll notice it's not a smart object anymore. And then I hit delete. Control D, and it's ready to go. Now if I turn off my template layer, that's the button image. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go File, and I'm going to save it. And then I'm going to go File and Export. And I'm going to export it as a PNG. Now what that's going to do is it's going to make sure that there's no outside stuff. It'll just be the circles. See how it's the little checkerboards out here that shows the pasteboard? So all it's going to have is this circle. That way when you import it, it should import as just the circle. Okay, I save that. All right, so we are done with this one. Next step is to go and get the page. So I go File, Open. I'm going to open a new file, so I'm not going to be open and place. It's just open. And I'm going to find the 1-inch button page. And I'm going to go File and Open and Place. And I'm going to find my circle that I just did. And notice it's roughly the same size. So you shouldn't have a ton of resizing that you need to do. Okay. I need to move over so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, I got my new button. What I usually do is I use the arrow keys. Now, if I want to check it to make sure it's all good, I turn down the opacity. And it looks like everything's where it should be. The type is a little close to the edge, so I adjust it just a little bit to make sure it all fits. Okay, I'm going to turn it back up. Now here's where it gets cool. I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Oops, Control minus. Okay, maybe not. No, it's not letting me zoom out. Okay. Wonder why that is. Let's zoom out. Being weird. Yeah, my control minuses aren't working. And they should. There it goes. All right. In fact, I'm going to Control 0. And then, okay, so I'm on my layer that I popped in. And I'm going to hit Control J. Notice it made a copy. Use my move tool. And if I hold down Shift, it should keep it in the same line. And I just hold Shift and drag it over, and it should be right in about the same place. Control J. Hold Shift and click and drag. Now they won't all be perfect because for some reason the template isn't exactly right. Control J to duplicate, drag it over. Control J and drag it over. Now as we zoom in, you'll notice that a couple of them are a little off. That's okay because we're going to end up cutting these out. So, you know, when we cut them, we'll make sure that the circles are right. But you know, you do want to try and get as close as you can, because when you go to cut, you may, you know, be thrown off by the circle underneath, and it'll cut crooked, and some of your text might get cut off if it's along the edge like that. Okay, now here's the trick. You click on the last one, hold down Shift, and click on the first one to select all of those in between. Check this out. Control J. Boom, I just made a copy of all of them. Take my Move tool, hold down Shift, and drag them down. Oops, for some reason it didn't grab the middle one. That's okay. All right, I know which one it is. Okay, hold down Shift, drag it down. Yeah, I don't know how I missed that one. Now you'll notice that they're a little off. I can see the thumbnails to know which one's which, and I can adjust them so that with my arrow keys so that they're about right. Okay, what you're going to do is you're going to file and save as a PSD. We want to keep this editable in case we need to change something. And then you're going to file and export as a JPEG. Okay? We don't need anything better quality than that because it's full size. This will print out. It's 8.5 by 11. So when we print it out, it'll be good. And this is what the page will be. It'll look just like that. And then when we cut them out and make the buttons, they'll look like there's just the stuff inside the dotted circle. All right, and that's the trick. Now, at some point, we may, you know, determine that yours is one of the best ones, and we'll fill the whole page. So that's why I want you to save it as a PSD just in case, because that way we'll print the whole page out and we'll make, you know, a couple hundred of these things and get them out to the kids at the middle school and to you guys. You know, we want you guys to be able to have them. So for now, just 2 rows, and you'll turn it in as a JPEG. Okay, and that's the end of the project. Now, notice all of them are the same. So you're not doing 10 different designs. I thought I made that clear, but I guess I wasn't. You're doing one design and you're pasting it on here 10 times. Okay, and that's it. Turn them in.